Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Just getting my bearings still here on YouTube with this live chat. They've implemented some new. Oh, it's live. Okay, awesome. It wasn't working before, so that is working now. Let me give everyone a link on my Facebook page in case anyone wants to come in. And there we go. So I've been playing pretty much today Technomancer on the Xbox One. It was $7.99. It's sort of like a cyberpunk Total Recall version of The Witcher. I really enjoy it. I think it's a fun game. It's not the best by any means, but for $8, it's a good game. And this company, Spiders, was very ambitious in regards to making it. I love Total Recall. I love cyberpunk, the cyberpunk genre. So I figured I'd give Technomancer a try, and I'm having fun with it so far. I could see myself playing it in spurts and eventually beating it. Um, what's up, William Armstrong, and what's up, Professor Peculiar? How's it going, guys? I was supposed to do a live stream with a friend, that my buddy Rich, that comes on from time to time, but he said late last night, "Oh, let's do something tomorrow," and then he didn't respond this morning, so he must be busy. But I have to have him on here next time. If anyone has any questions, obviously put them in the chat. I'm just kind of hanging back watching with no volume a Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation documentary that somebody sent me on YouTube that figured I'd check out. It's pretty interesting. I think the behind the scenes stuff can be pretty interesting when they add them as special features and stuff to DVDs and Blu-rays. Um, hey, Nick, what's going on, man? Funny, I always thought Nick was Italian and from New York. I don't know why. He just rubbed me that way. And then I became friends with him on Facebook, and I don't think that's the case. And he's not from New York. So he just reminded me of like a local friend for some reason. I felt like I knew him. It's hard to explain when you feel like you know someone before you really do. So that's Ballin' Nick, 1982. Check him out. He's a great, great YouTuber that I really enjoy, that I've watched for years. Let's see if I should. It's a little better, I guess. Get a little bit of that light out of the picture, unless. Yeah. Professor Peculiar says, I'm training the shit lately because I got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions over the weekend. Very cool. I have a buddy named Ryan who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and looks pretty heavy duty. A lot of people have been doing it that I know. Yeah, I never got into martial arts, but it definitely looks interesting. William Armstrong says, what video game would you recommend? If you're talking about currently, give me a genre. How about that? Will, give me a type of game you like, and I'll come up with something. The next few games I want to pick up are Shenmue 1 and 2, the HD collection, Dark Souls Remastered, and what's the other one? State of Decay 2 looks really good, so I want to pick that up as well. Microsoft doesn't have many exclusives, and I played the first State of Decay a little bit, and I felt like it really could use some multiplayer. So now that they've added multiplayer to it, I think it's going to be a really fun game. William Armstrong says, what video game would you recommend in the arcade genre? Arcade. Nothing really new comes to mind. I would probably say something like Final Fight, Streets of Rage. I'm not a big shmup fan, and I'm not good at those, so can't really recommend too many of those. Maybe Ikaruga. That always looked good. Professor Peculiar says, hopefully I don't get disqualified in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu again. What did you do to get disqualified? That's what I want to know. Hey, Jordan, what's up? That was my buddy Jordan is in here. He's the one who I did a video on a while ago that said video games and not video games, excuse me, movies that remind me of my friend Jordan. He's watching. Media Glitch asks, what game has made you cry? Oh, boy. I don't know if any of them ever made me cry, but there have been some that have, tugged on heartstrings. I would say maybe Suikoden 1 and 2. Thought those always kind of had like music and like emotional ties that sort of tried to make you get feelings going. Um, Life is Strange had some like emotional. Jordan will laugh at that. Life is Strange had some emotional ties that they They try to tug on your heartstrings a little bit, make you feel bad. Oh, okay. Ball and Nick says, I'm actually three-quarters Italian and quarter Greek. The least Italian place in the country I live, Oregon. Okay, I knew it. I had a feeling he was Italian. I just his mannerisms and Greek, Italian, that's sort of similar. They always say they're the only two nationalities that eat lamb brains, gabutzel. So, which I have never eaten, but maybe if it was made right, I'd try it. But yeah, there's always that like stubborn, thick-headedness Greek and Italian thing going on. Though the foods are very different, they're always loud and talking with their hands and very thick-headed. So they do have some similarities. What's up, Tony D? Hey there, Gashead Steve. How's it going? Oh, no problem, Nick. Professor Peculiar asks, have you ever played Yakuza? I have not because I had a PSP version that was Japanese, but I never played it. And then I never had a PlayStation console after the Vita. So I never played Yakuza, though it looks really good. And since I'm a Shenmue fan, everyone always recommends the Yakuza series, but I have yet to play it. William Armstrong says, I have to like Sega CD Universe still. Thank you. I'm glad you do. Scotty Thompson says Alien versus Predator, which never got a home release. That's true. That always looked really good. I know they did a RoboCop arcade game. You know what game I really liked as a kid? Pit Fighter, which I know most people hate, but also Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game where it was like a beat 'em up, not the home console one where on the Nintendo it was like a platformer, like an action platformer. Nicholas Mateus says, "What is the best that you've ever played?" That's a tough one. RPGs, I would say Suikoden, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI. Horror, I would say Silent Hill, Deadly Premonition. Even though that game is really silly, I'm trying to think what Resident Evil 7 was really good. I really enjoyed that one. Trying to think if recently I played anything that I loved. I like roguelikes a lot, but I find them to be very unfair sometimes. I popped in Has Been Heroes earlier, and I really like that game. I think it's very fun. I like the art style, but it's so difficult that it gets me frustrated, and I can never make it past beating the game a couple times. So it really pisses me off. If it was worth more money, I probably would have gotten rid of it at this point. But it's like $7 or $8, so it's really just not worth getting rid of. Used. It's not like trading in. It's probably like $1. They said I slammed the guy, but he had bad grips, and when I got his back on the floor super quickly, and okay, so Professor Peculiar is saying he got thrown out of jujitsu because they said he slammed the guy on the floor, but really the guy slipped. That sucks. Hey there, Sega Galactico. What is up? Tony D says, "Hey Mike, I missed the beginning of the stream. Do you practice jujitsu though?" No. Professor Peculiar says he does. So you guys might hit it off pretty well. He's in Ireland. He's a good buddy. Sega Galactica says if you could remake any TV show and replace the characters with apes from Planet of the Apes, which show would you remake? Probably Twin Peaks, maybe Quantum Leap. That would be cool if someone goes back in time and maybe they're not apes or they are apes or something like that. I can see that working out very well considering the Planet of the Apes films. Um, what else? What other shows do I like? Yeah, those are probably the two that come to mind. I would say Buffy and Angel probably wouldn't be so good with apes in them. Jordan says you need to start playing some PlayStation exclusives. I know. If I had a PlayStation 4, I would um, definitely play Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Shenmue 3 when it comes out. Fire Pro Wrestling. That pisses me off so bad that didn't come on the Xbox. I love that series, except the 360 one. That one was terrible. Uh, Jesus Christ says diversity is my strength, so I only play games where the protagonist is a black woman. That's actually really funny. I can't think of any games that I've played with a black woman. You could probably create them, you know. Scotty Thompson says, I only played the Genesis version of Pit Fighter. We laughed at how bad it was. Yeah, the home ports aren't so good. The arcade rendition is better. It's still not the best, but it's fun. Ballin Nick says, what is the most disturbing horror movie you've ever seen? Or are there any you're curious about? When I was younger, When I was younger, Requiem for a Dream bothered me a little bit. It kind of gives you that dirty, fucked up feeling after you watch it. Doesn't bother me anymore. Antichrist was a little bothersome with the whole sex scene, and I thought it was just terrible. That's not something I would rewatch. The only movie I really won't watch that I hear is really, really horrific is a Serbian film. In it, I think the main plot is this guy gets hired to like rape people, and he's raping people and kids and torturing them and murdering them. And um, I don't, I don't see the point of it. I know it's supposed to be, an analogy for the Serbian government raping and murdering their people or something. But not being Serbian, I really don't plug into that. But also, seeing a man rape fake babies and murder them doesn't do it for me. So I've heard that was really, really bad. I've seen things like I saw Cannibal Ferox once when I was younger, and then when I found out that they actually were like killing monkeys or whatever and hurting, killing turtles, I was like, no. So anything with like animal cruelty, I'm just not into. I'm out on that front as well. In terms of disturbing and liking it, I guess like Requiem for a Dream. I can't think of much else off the top of my head, honestly. Nicholas Mateus says from the Resident Evil saga, I prefer the first two games. Um, yeah, I always thought the second game was really good, though I never got very far. I always enjoyed that one more than one. I contemplated getting the Origins collection, but I know it's a little archaic at this point with trying to track down keys and item management. So I just didn't bother picking it up. Cats, games, whatever. What's up, buddy? Did you order Shenmue HD yet? I have not. Actually, no, wait. I'm sorry. I have. I pre-ordered it at GameStop the other day. I have tons of credit there. I returned something and I had a bunch of credit, so I believe I have that paid off. Hey, Spudley, what's up? Stuart Grant asks, "What is your favorite game from the Super Nintendo?" That's a tough one. They have great, great games. Um, I would say Earthbound, Chrono Trigger. I played a lot of the RPGs on Super Nintendo. I played a little bit of Super Mario RPG, or at least I vaguely remember it. I watched a friend play it. Thought that was really cool from what I saw, but I never really played it too much. Yeah, I would say those are two of my favorites on the Super Nintendo. Shadowrun is amazing. Super Nintendo and Genesis, both excellent. Jesus Christ is telling me to say diversity is our strength. Let's not and say we did, huh? I don't want to get too political or whatever on here. People get way too sensitive with that crap. They say like movies and games are populated by it's ridiculous. People are way too sensitive. Nicholas says, "I love Fire Pro Wrestling too." That's awesome. I played a little bit of Fire Pro Returns on the PlayStation 2, and I have the Dreamcast one, and I play that on occasion with my buddies. We get together and do like a battle royale. I downloaded off of Blue Swirl. Let me just adjust myself here. There we go. I downloaded off of Blue Swirl a VMU download with all the Japanese names put into English. So I have like all the Fire Pro characters with their American names or English names, I should say. Let's see here. I think I skipped some. Damn it. Gorilla Gamer, what's up, buddy? Have you ever seen Don't Breathe from the director of the Evil Dead remake? Is Don't Breathe. Wait a minute. I'm thinking of Lights Out. Is Don't Breathe new? I don't know if I've seen that. No, I haven't seen that one. I heard very good things. I haven't seen it. I saw Lights Out, which I thought was okay. Um, Jesus Christ says Serbian film tried too hard to shock and be David Lynch. They even used the dark highway shot a lot. Okay, good to know. The faces Sega Galactico says the Faces of Death films were messed up. Have you ever seen those? Those are the ones with like the fake scenes where they like kill people and animals and things, but it's not real. I've seen them in pieces. I think I don't think I've ever seen them in their entirety. Professor Peculiar says Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is my jam. I used to watch my buddy play through the games. They kind of creeped me out as a kid, but I also didn't like the kind of ominous feeling of like doors opening and like how slow it was. So I had a buddy who Played through Resident Evil 3, and I would watch him and stuff. His name's Nicky. I still keep in touch with him. So yeah, I know that one pretty well. Stuart Grant asks, "Did you watch Weird Science as a kid?" Yes, I love that movie. I have it on DVD. Great, great film. The Retro Bro, my buddy John, he asks, "Do you even lift?" Yes, but probably not nearly as much as you. Um, Fairly light in regards to how much weight. I don't really push myself too much because I don't have a spotter and I'm doing it in my garage. But I could probably lift my own weight. I just, like I said, don't have a spotter, so I don't go too crazy. Just do it to be in shape, you know? Another one of my Guido buddies, the Retro Bro. Check him out. Ballin' Nick says, "I'll be honest, the Serbian film is a well-made movie and it's really sad, but definitely messed up. My fiance actually likes it, which is surprised because she's a mother." Wow. Maybe I will have to check that out one day. I don't know. I've heard so many bad things that it just turned me off and I just didn't really want to see it. The Gorilla Gamer says, "Here's a question. What horror game would you love to have made 16-bit? Mine would be Monster Squad." You mean horror movie? Probably The Lost Boys. That's one of my favorites. Jacob's Ladder would be awesome, but it would probably be something like Silent Hill. Silent Hill took a lot from Jacob's Ladder. If you mean horror game, I would probably pick Silent Hill or Deadly Premonition. Shenmue. Question: You've just finished a 12-hour shift. After 4 hours of sleep the night before, you're invited on a night out with a friend you ain't seen in ages. You're due to work 12 hours tomorrow. What do you do? Jeez. Assuming I go, which probably I wouldn't, because I'm kind of a boring person, honestly. Um, I usually, you know, I'm a homebody, or I go out with my wife and do things, but like we don't go out with friends from time to time, or have dinner, or have them over. But like if we have work the next day or something like that, we're pretty responsible in that way. So we probably wouldn't like go out at like 2 in the morning and like hang out all night. Um, Geez, I don't know, man. I probably wouldn't go honestly, but if I was going, I'd probably try to make it an early night just so I knew I wasn't dead for work. I know that sounds boring. Wonder Boy F1 asks, "How will Shenmue hold up as a modern day release?" I think that for people who really love it, they'll really enjoy themselves. I think it will garner some new fans who like that, methodical, slow, weird life sim gameplay. But for younger generation who want quick and fast and instant gratification, I don't know if all of them are going to like it. Nicholas Matea says the Dreamcast and the PlayStation versions are the best. Yeah, Fire Pro. I do like those. Those are great, great wrestling games. I'd say they're my favorites. 8833, 8833, or no, 8833, excuse me. Been watching you for 2 years. Great channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Professor Peculiar says, "I have a challenge for myself. If I play through Dark Souls and however I die, I'm going to sing the entire score of HMS Pinafore." I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. Name, will this get noticed? Will this get noticed? My live stream? I don't really know what that means. Will this get noticed? I don't know. Maybe. I has method said pull in or pull out. That's maybe that's sexual in nature. I don't exactly pull in. You mean leave in? You mean not pull out? What are you getting at? Uh Shenmue says that's my predicament right now. I might phone in sick or just turn off my head. Choices, choices. If you haven't seen your friend in years and you miss him and you love him and he's a close friend, fuck it, just go do it and call out of work. Tony D says, "What type of pizza is the best and from where if you've tried other places? New York, New Jersey, Chicago, etc." I would say I haven't tried Chicago. I know it's very, they do what? The thick ones and like the pan pizzas and stuff. They do the thick ones, right? Like the what the hell they deep pizza, right? I haven't tried that. I think I've had pizza in New Jersey, but I don't remember. I'm from New York. I think we have the best water, so we have the best pizza and the best bagels. Um, I would say just regular slices. I like all kinds of like specialty slices with meat. I try to keep my protein intake really high and my carbs low, so I don't eat pizza much. Um, Anything sausage and peppers, chicken, anything with chicken or meat, meatballs, stuff like that. William Armstrong says, "You are welcome. I have a question. Have you tried Decap Attack for the Sega Genesis, a game with the headless mummy?" Yes. I played it years ago. I remember playing it, but I don't remember it very well. So I don't remember loving it, but I remember it was interesting. Ballin Nick 1982 says, "You said you're a Faith No More fan like myself. What are your favorite songs by them?" That's a good question. Kindergarten, Caffeine, Helpless, um, Epic, Underwater Love, uh, From Out of Nowhere. I mean, they have amazing, many amazing songs. Superhero was pretty good. Their new album with Superhero and with they're escaping me right now, but I love 90% of their songs, I would say. And even the ones I don't like love, I still really enjoy. Splatterhouse is a very weird and nice game. Yeah, that is a cool game. I played the 360 version, which I thought was great. And then you can unlock the old games, and I played a little bit of one of them, and I enjoyed it. I should pick that back up. I should put that in my list of games to pick up. I'm going to do that right now while we're talking, so that I can eventually. The only problem is, I think I'd have to play through the game again. I don't think they should put those in like a Genesis collection, right? I mean, why haven't they done that? They're putting out this new Genesis collection. It kind of annoys me because this new Genesis collection is really cool, but a lot of it is old shit. It's crap that's been out for a long time. Ooh, they have a copy of Splatterhouse for 360 for $5. About 15 miles away though. Hmm. I'll keep that up. I'll have to maybe one day when I'm at work, I'll swing over there. Long Island pizza is still the best from Hauke, Hookah, Hawkway. Yes, I'd say Long Island pizza is probably the best. Long Island in New York has the best pizza. Scotty Thompson, for Halloween, which three horror films would you recommend to a friend? Do you marathon horror films for Halloween? I don't really marathon much because of work and stuff. Jacob's Ladder, any of the Halloween films, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Pumpkinhead, Suspiria is really good. Check that out. I want to get that on Blu ray eventually. You know what movie I appreciate that I just picked up on Blu ray the other day for $7? In the Mouth of Madness. That was really cool. Check out Beyond the Gates. That was a fun little indie um, horror movie. Not really scary, but interesting. Shenmue says Shenmue will stand up as a gaming experience. People are used to indie titles not being amazing graphically, but yeah, the feeling of that game is unique. I'm sure it will get some new fans. I agree. I think it's going to definitely get some new people. It's going to turn some people off, but with the old fans and the new fans, I think it will probably do pretty well, I would say. Spudley asks, "Does pineapple go on pizza?" I don't know if I've ever had. I may have had it once years ago, like pineapple chicken. I don't remember it. I'd try it. Pineapple actually makes my mouth burn, and I found this out online. I thought it was just normal, but I guess I'm allergic, so my tongue starts to like feel like it's raw almost, and it hurts, which is pretty funny. And I found out like a lot of people are allergic to pineapple. See you later, Professor Peculiar. Yeah, it is. It is hard, William Armstrong, sometimes to go back and play older games. Steve Miller asked, "What is the best Sonic game?" I would probably say Sonic CD. I may be partial. So, oh, pronounced Hawk. Okay, I got it. I think you told me that before. I probably just forgot. I'm not very swift, if you can't tell. I also sound in my head like Rocky Balboa, so I don't sound very. Do I love cannolis? Hell yeah, I do. I love all that shit. St. Joseph's pastries, cannolis, and everything. Nick, do you eat galma? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Take it easy, Nicholas Mateus. Do you like Bethesda games? I've been gaming for 27 years. Yeah, I picked up Fallout 4. I have yet to start it. Really enjoyed Oblivion. Fallout 3 was really good. I didn't play Skyrim, and I didn't play. Is there another one? No, Skyrim, right? That was the last one. I played some Bethesda titles, and I enjoyed them. I think they're really good. William Armstrong says I can play Sonic City, but I can't get the good ending. Yeah, there's a that's the one thing about that game is collecting all the gems or whatever the hell you need takes some time, and it really is difficult. Can be difficult, I should say. So I'm definitely going to pick up Splatterhouse now that you guys recommended it. The only thing is, I don't know if on 360 if it saved my game. I wish it did. I know they started doing cloud saving. But I think that was during the Xbox One era. I don't think I ever went back, and so that sucks. Ball and Nick says you must be more Italian than me. I have no idea what that is. It's squid. It's squid. You know, the little tentacles and stuff. Put it in gravy, gravy or sauce. There you go. There's a question for the ages. We call it gravy. Some people call it sauce. I guess because we usually cook it with meat in it. The differentiation sometimes is if there's meat in it, if it's gravy, if it's lighter and doesn't have a thickness to it, it's sauce. So there's that. I do have to go back and play Splatterhouse. I've never played those. I'm going to put those on my wish list, most definitely. Um, see here. William Armstrong said the Time Stones. Jet Set Radio is hard to play. Yeah, Jet Set Radio was a little cumbersome, but it was a very fun game, really interesting, and a great art style. Hey, Mr. Square Art, how are you? Hawk. A lot of us from Long Island sound like that. People always ask if I'm from Brooklyn. I tell them Suffolk, and I get a blank stare. I'm moving soon, Hawk, but you and I should get together. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, private message me. We should do something, man. Go like video game hunting one day or something. Fried Galama, yes, 8833, exactly. Tony D says, sorry for all the food questions. Have you ever tried Portuguese churrasqueira chicken? I tried, probably not. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, and forgive my pronunciation. Um, I went to a place with my brother once where they put a like a brick down on the table, and it's green and red, and you turn it over depending on if you want more meat to come. Is that what you mean? It was really good, and now that I eat primarily protein, I should probably go back and do that again, but it's expensive. So since I'm moving soon, I've been trying to save money and not go out to eat too often. Um, Mr. Square Art says, I'm good. Have you made any videos about your tattoos? No, I mean, they do mean things to me. Um, I'm out of breath. I think I should probably speak a little slower, more distinctly. Either that or I'll have a heart attack on film. That wouldn't be good. I don't know. They mean things to me, but some of them are a little more personal, so I haven't really um, done too much. I mean, I've talked about the video game The Darkness, and I showed off my tattoo. I think I spoke about Planet of the Apes once, and I showed off my gorilla tattoo, but I haven't done each of them. Death Adder asks, "What in the blue hell is your avatar on Xbox Live?" Chopper Reed. It's Eric Bana playing Chopper Reed from the movie Chopper. That's one of my favorite films. You've been wondering it for the longest. Yeah, we got to play something together, man. Ah, we did work at GameStop around the same time, Hawk. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Bola Nick says, do you like Spadinis? I'm going to look that up because that sounds very familiar, but for some reason I cannot place it. Spadinis. Veal Spadinis. Is that fried veal? Looks pretty good. I'm not a big veal fan. I know they're like baby calves and they kind of hurt them and torture them and shit, but it's okay. Veal's all right. It's not my favorite. What is your favorite food? Tony D asks. I really like Chinese food and sushi. Sushi's probably one of my favorites, which probably isn't good because of the rice, but You need some carbs for energy. Death Adder, what are you doing in about 10 minutes? Because I am free the rest of the day, so we should play. I'm going to go in a couple minutes, guys. If any of you are on Xbox Live and you would like to play something, please let me know and we can definitely play. I would love to play something with you guys. I have Friday the 13th. Actually, that might be a good one because my buddy AJ has it. And he's home today. And he wants to play with me. Let me write to him right now. And we can all get together after this stream is over and play something. You see, Death Adder, you tell me you want to do something, and now you have to take a walk with your woman. Who's more important? A bald, fat Italian guy and Friday the 13th on YouTube, or walking with your girlfriend? Nick says, my parents use pork, but it's thinly sliced, rolled and filled with some kind of filling and bread. That sounds really good. Bring some over. I'll wait for you. It's a nice day here. All right, I hear you, Death Adder. No problem. And we'll get together sometime and play something. Tony D, Friday the 13th. Add me on Xbox, guys. My name is Vampire Mike with a space in between, but Vampire is Vampyre. So, all right, guys. So, thank you for all the questions. I had fun just chatting with you guys. I may do this more often. I find it pretty interesting to kind of, pick your brains and talk to you and get to know you a little bit. So, I will. Thanks for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.